So, are you comfortable with seeing patients with skin problems? Probably not.
Yeah.
I was not either. But my company, Hamsua Clinic, sent me United States to open a new clinic in LA and Orange County. Hamsua Clinic, this one, is one of the largest medical franchise in Korea. We have 74 branches all over the world, including United States and even China. So I was kind of frontier, and unfortunately, our specialty is skin problems, something like eczema. So I had an experience more than 10 years in Hamsua. So I would love to share my knowledge with you guys. But it was not that easy for me either. But this is the title of today's lecture. Easy framework for treating skin disorders. So I will let you know the easiest way possible to see the patient with the skin problems. So it will be very easy and very applicable to your patient in real practice. I can promise that. It will be very, very easy. This is the reason I close all the blinds to let you see the picture clearly. I told you it will be easy. Please pick the picture representing atopic dermatitis. It is easy. Oh, whoever. Maybe it is too easy. I didn't mean to insult you guys. Please try to pick atopic dermatitis. Maybe
The top right.
top right one. Okay. Any other answers? Maybe it wasn't easy as I expected. Top right, huh?
Maybe.
You got a right answer. Yeah. All of these four pictures are all the representation of atopic dermatitis. You guys missed something really important.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm sorry.
sorry.
Okay? So this is erythema and papules. And this is color changes and very type of papules and leaf tonification. So all these representations are from one single problem, atopic dermatitis. So there's not just fixed form of atopic dermatitis.
All of them.
All of them. So atopic dermatitis can be presented with more of a erythema or with more of color changes or papules, or sometimes lynching. They all look very different, but they are all same atopic dermatitis. Actually, dermatitis and eczema is a very unclear term. Just like arthritis. Just like arthritis. Arthritis is a very vague term. Just it means inflammation on the joint. Right? Inflammation on the joint. It can be presented as pain or swelling, sometimes fever. It can be anything. And it can be anywhere. Just like that, dermatitis and eczema means inflammation on the skin. So it can be anything. It can be swelling, or redness, erythema, or papules, or sometimes hives. They are all dermatitis. And next question. Okay, cool. I would love to rewind everything and start from the beginning. Good morning, everybody. So you guys missed something really important. So, atopic dermatitis. This is all symptoms of atopic dermatitis. And next slide. So you can see some papule like a blister, right? Do you have any idea what kind of skin problem it is?
Warts,
Warts. Okay.
molluscum,
Molluscum. I think you have some experience with this skin problem,
chicken
do
pox.
you?
I've seen some things.
Okay. I think you have a correct answer. Wart. Wart. You got a correct answer, and you have a correct answer too. So, it is very easy, as I told you, but maybe not that easy for some others. Let me show you. This is the hydrotic dermatitis. And this is molluscum, as you say. And this is kind of wart. And this is flat wart. Not the regular wart, but flat wart. And this is million. It happens around the eyes. But they all look similar. Aren't they? They all look similar. Can you get my point? One disease can be presented as hundreds of different forms. And hundreds of skin diseases can be presented as very similar pattern. That is my point. And let's go more with this. It is getting interesting more and more. Can you tell any of the skin diseases?
Psoriasis,
Psoriasis. It says it's just uncommon. It will be more difficult. Actually, I don't have any answers for this. Actually, I don't have any answers for this. These are uncommon problems on the skin. I recall my school days studying dermatology. I spent so much time in differentiating these pictures to find out what kind of problem they have. And when I read one chapter, it looked clear to me. Oh, I can tell the difference. But once you scramble all the pictures, and differentiating is a whole different story. And sometimes my students drag me to the patient without any word. Just come up to the professor and ask me, what kind of problem is this? And I have no idea. Luckily, even dermatologists cannot tell all the skin problems with their just visual inspection. So it's a shame. I spent so much time just trying to differentiate with these pictures of all the skin diseases. One disease can be presented as hundreds of patterns, and hundreds of patterns can be presented with just one disease. So, today's lecture will be dermatology without pictures. Sounds good? So we don't have to spend so much time to study pictures. So I told you it will be easy framework. So we don't have to turn off the light. So no more pictures, no more pictures. So it will be very applicable to your practice after this class. So just do not hesitate to ask the patient, what did your doctor say about this? That is something I say to the patient when my student drag me to the patient. What did your doctor say about this? So don't be hesitant about this question. And next one, are and acupuncture. And this is work. I think this is work or covers. Do you think it is something we can heal, we can treat easily with herbs and acupuncture? Oh, probably not. I don't think either. I think this kind of condition is a surgical procedure with some fancy devices like lasers, right? That's what I thought too. But this clinic is a very famous clinic in Korea. Their specialty is just one, wart. Not all the skin disease, but just the wart. And they publish many good articles in medical journals, only with TCM and wart. See, the pictures and testimonials, and they published a lot of good research articles too. It is interesting. It is kind of unique pattern in Korea. In Korea, there are many specialty clinics like this, wart, and this is a specialty clinic only for acne. And this is the clinic specialized in psoriasis, only psoriasis, not other skin problems. And they publish a lot of good researches too. And then this is the same clinic which is specialized in psoriasis. And this clinic is specialized for, can you see the pictures here? Hair loss. So they only say hair loss, alopecia. Yes, there are many special clinics in Korea like this. How do you think they compete with medical doctors with these very narrowed down specialties? Alopecia, maybe possible, but wart, they only treat wart. And wart is some disease from virus. And how can we treat them? I will tell you the secret. And my Hamswa clinic compete with medical doctors with just single problem, eczema. And we are doing really good, and we have 74 branches all over the world. The secret is here, because TCM approach skin problems with holistic perspective. Immune system, skin, and gut. We will discuss about this issue today here. Beautiful lips. Do you think the lips are skin or gut? Ever thought about it? We usually think lips are skin. Well, see this picture. Is it still skin, lips? This is the opening of the gut, gastrointestinal system. Actually, our skin and gut is not separated. It is just one continuum layer. Actually, our skin and gut is just like this Dunkin' Donuts. This inside hole is a gut, and upper side of hole is our mouth. And this side of hole is something you are imagining. Right? Do you understand? Yes. Our skin and gut is just like these donuts. This side is skin and this side is gut. Actually, what's inside this donut is cream and butter. Yeah. This is not in this inside hole. This is gut, and this is the picture of the skin to gut all together. What happened with this is this gut or skin is always, every time, every day, every minute, every second, taking care of extra pathogens or all the extra protruders. Whatever you eat, you just drink coffee, your gut is taking care of that foreign material. So it is in the first line of defense. Our skin is in the first line of defense, and our gut is in the first line of defense. And they are all connected together as just one continuum, just like a Dunkin' Donuts. And let's talk about skin and immune system, because skin and gut are first line of defense. They should be associated with immune system deeply. There was a very interesting study. Just putting a lotion, a lot, can help prevent dementia or type 2 diabetes. It sounds very nonsense. Skin and diabetes, let's bring a lotion. But they say there was a statistical correlation, and the lead researcher commented like this: the inflammation must come from an organ big enough that very minor inflammation can affect the whole body. Skin is a good candidate for this because its size. Our skin is vast and always contacting foreign materials. It is interesting. And this is something called skin barrier. In Korea, this is 피부 장벽, like a great word. The skin barrier consists of dead cells of skin. In old days, Korean people just scrub them away because we thought there is a dead cell. And there is a lipid from the dermis, and lipid works like mortar, cement, with these dead cells. So brick and mortar. That makes a skin barrier. And this skin barrier is the outer layer of our skin. It is called stratum corneum. So with this skin barrier, we can prevent other pathogen intrude inside of our body. And also, this skin barrier prevent our water evaporate from our skin. So without good skin barrier, our immune system can be affected, and our skin can be easily dry. So these days, this function of skin barrier is getting important and getting important. All the magazines like Vogue, they say always about skin barrier these days. This is a hot issue. And this is another study with the skin barrier and atopic dermatitis. And it says, the skin barrier plays a key role in immune surveillance and homeostasis in preventing penetration of microbial product and allergens. So it plays an important role, and unfortunately, many atopic dermatitis patients have a broken, damaged skin barrier. So we need to keep those skin barrier. Maybe you and me thought the skin is something beautiful, just with the cosmetic issues. But it plays a really important role in immune system, and it is connected to our gut. So skin is the extended part of our gut, and gut is extension of our skin. Skin is the reflection of the gut. Skin is the reflection of the gut. And skin is the first line of the immune system. So unhealthy immune system makes skin unhealthy. And unhealthy skin affects immune system too. So the other way around. So it is just like a signal about our inside. Skin is the signal of our inside. So these are the first line of defense: intestine and skin, always contacting with foreign materials. And there's another thing, airways. When you breathe, a lot of extra materials come into your body, and they are confronting those dangers every second and every minute. So these are the main first line of immune system. These are the first line of defense. This kind of concept is not new to us, right? We studied TCM. This is a wonderful theory. We always have been thinking they work all together. It's a whole lung system. Skin belongs to lung, right? And gut, large intestine belongs to lung. And immune system, the defensive chi, they are all together, right? Yeah, and it is so true in the perspective of conventional medicine too, these days. But so far, they didn't care much about this, but it is true in oriental medicine and conventional medicine. So this is the holistic approach we need when we see the skin problem patient, dermatological patient. So I can tell you that you can help the patient with chronic and recurrent skin problems, skin disorders through herbs and acupuncture very effectively. And let's talk about immune and skin problems, skin disorders. Skin, immune, herbs. Let's talk about this issue. We talked about, we're late. Yeah. We talked about Dunkin' Donuts. Now we will talk about skin, immune, and herbs. Our immune system is just like our watchdog. We have a watchdog inside our home. And if that watchdog is so lazy to chase the intruder away, that is just like immunodeficiency condition. Immunodeficiency condition. And if that watchdog chase away our precious guest, what do you call that? That is allergy. Hypersensitivity disorders. What if your own beloved dog bites you? Then it is autoimmune disease. So all the immune system can be categorized to these three conditions. Actually two, hyperactivity and underactivity, overreactivity and underreactivity. It's just two. Overreactivity, there are two conditions. Attacking own body or attacking something is not harmful. So to speak, allergies. So only three conditions. The immune disease, all the immune disease can be categorized this way. How about the rheumatoid arthritis? Here? Yeah, this one. It belongs to here. How about the asthma? It belongs to here.
Yeah.
How about the cancer or AIDS? It belongs to here. So all the diseases, rhinitis, here. Hives, here. So it is a very fundamental concept. And this is the whole map I teach in my dermatology class, and here's my student. So it is a course of the whole semester. But today, I will focus on very practical theme, the issues, and I will cover all the clinical part. Autoimmune problems, immunodeficiency problems, and allergy problems. Most of the skin disease we can discuss in this perspective, in the perspective of this immune system. Let's see. First, autoimmune disease. Oh, I told you there will be no pictures. This one will be the last pictures. So lupus, psoriasis, vitiligo, alopecia areata, some type of alopecia is autoimmune problems. Our own immune system attacks our own body. In this condition. and immunodeficiency conditions. Shingles, herpes, warts, molluscum, pinia vascular, job itchy, cellulitis. This one is impetigo. These are the bacterial infection, and these are the fungal infection, and these are the viral infection. You don't have to take pictures. It's just you will just forget about this. Yeah, you will. I'm not saying this just casually. You don't have to remember all of this. What you should remember is there is skin conditions with immunodeficiency, and also there is condition immunohyperreaction, allergies, like allergic dermatitis. Like this. This is topical eczema, atopic dermatitis, and contact dermatitis. This hydrotic eczema, and just regular hives. They are all allergic reactions. They are all allergic reactions. So we will try to look at all the skin disease in the perspective of immune system. And we all know that herbs and acupuncture can work great with the immune system. So once you change your perspective from skin to immune system, there are so much things you can do with your patient. After this class, you'll be waiting for the patient with the skin problems. I'm so excited. How many patients do I get today with skin problems? So with this perspective, there are two conditions. First, immune overreaction and immune underreaction. Allergy or autoimmune disease. On this side, chronic recurrent inflammation. The herpes is getting flaring up again and again. That should be interpreted not a skin problem, but immune deficiency. Or sequel of singers is really bothering. And you should consider that with this kind of perspective. The skin atopic dermatitis, lupus, hives, and shingles, and herpes or wart can be divided with this category. The conventional medicine they use for this immune overreaction, excuse me. I lost my pointer, so I brought the back scratcher. He doesn't have any pointer. So, immunosuppressant.
What are you full of pages?
It's so funny. Okay. So desensitization, they use this kind of treatment, desensitization. And steroid, this is the most popular treatment option for immune overreaction. And they don't have much of things like interferon, but they don't use that for the regular skin diseases. So they just teach you rest and proper nutrients. And there can be immune stimulants. And herbs, there are herbs for this condition. Usually, this is the gist about my class today. Reducing herbs, clearing heat, wind, and stagnation. These herbs can reduce immune overreaction. And second, immune underreaction, tonifying herbs. So let's discuss about this in detail. If you read dermatology books in TCM, in different chapters, they are showing all different patterns, very complicated patterns. And I have been seeing this dermatology patient 10 years, and this is my opinion. There are these 5 major etiologies. This 5 major etiology covers 99%. 99%. So if you just meticulously find out what etiology they have, you can successfully treat the patient. First one is wind. Heat, yin deficiency, yang deficiency, or qi deficiency, or blood deficiency. But in clinic, I see more of an yin deficiency patient, and I see more qi deficiency patient. what is the difference between blood deficiency and insufficiency? In insufficiency, there is a fake fever. That is the difference. So I see more of an insufficiency patient. And there are some patients with stagnation. So this side is excessive condition, and this side is deficiency condition. It goes like this, counterclockwise, okay? Counterclockwise. It goes like this. And the symptoms and the disease doesn't come individually, but they come sometimes mixed together. Wind and heat mixed a lot. Wind and heat. And second, insufficiency and heat can be mixed. And sometimes Qi deficiency and blood deficiency can be mixed together. Look at blood and Qi deficiency. They can be mixed together. Sometimes stagnation makes the heat. So, which one is the worst problem here? Just one thing is connected all the way. Which one is the worst one? Yes, heat. That is so correct. These 5 etiologies are most common one. Among these 5, heat is the most common problem you will see with your skin patients. So let's just forget about those complicated differentiating patterns, but let's focus with these 5 major etiologies. Heat is the worst culprit. And this is the excessive condition. And there, they are presented in the skin. I told you skin is a signal light. And this way, first acute. This condition is acute. Hive, ulcer, redness, erythema, oozing, excoriation, swelling, and fever. This is excessive. And this type of deficiency makes the condition like this signal to the skin, bleaching, eczema, pigmentation, scar, crust, dryness, sclerosis, scaling, 피등 같은 거 떨어지는, and atrophy. These are all signs of deficiency. So it is easy, right? All you have to do is just pick the right of a formula based on these 5 etiologies. And this side is usually immune overreacting condition. And this side is usually immune underreacting condition. This is how TCM work as an immune modulator. So we saw the conditions like this, and it is all connected to immune system. When herbs and acupuncture applied, there can be immune overreaction conditions like allergies or lupus, or immune underreaction condition like recurrent herpes. Then you apply herbs and acupuncture, and our body, 장fu, can be balanced. And this action can modulate immune system. When it is overreacted, your treatment suppresses the immune system. The other way around is true. Your same treatment can work as immune booster. So with proper balancing of our body, can work as immunomodulator. And there is some herb which is known as immune modulating herbs. Just I put it here as a reference. So this is the end of my story, end of the instruction. It doesn't look like a condition which needs acupuncture or herbs, but injection or antivirus. But the most of the chronic and recurrent skin diseases are related to immune system, and just subsiding symptoms or killing external pathogen with a steroid subsiding and antibiotics or antivirals is not the fundamental treatment. Even elements from bacteria or virus are triggered not only by exposure to the pathogen, but by patient condition. And herbs and acupuncture can help this patient modulate their immune system, immune reaction on their own, by themselves, and let them overcome the problems fundamentally. And this is a secret how the clinics in Seoul, in Korea, specialized in skin problems, successfully compete with modern medicine. I can tell you this is a secret, and this is a clinic specialized in the world. And this is a very wonderful thing, studying acupuncture and herbs, and you can help many people, more people than you expected. Okay.
Can I ask a question? Do you
Sure.
mind going back 2 slides to the immune, that one?
That one.
Can I take
yeah.
pictures? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can see whole the article and this
Just
address. But personally, I'm giving all my credit here. So if there's something wrong, blame them. Because there's not much of research supporting those data. I tried to find it, but there are not much of research. Ginseng have some researches with the immune system, and it works as an immune modulator. Okay, this was my instruction, and let's go to the main topic. So, I will explain major herbal decoctions, herbal formula you can use right away after this today for your patient with skin disorders as an immune modulator. We can approach all the skin diseases, whatever it looks like, whatever it looks like. So that's the reason I don't show you any more pictures, okay? Whatever it looks like, you can treat them with your perspective of TCM. With a simple this framework. Let's see. Again, wind, heat, in, and qi, and stagnation. You use 소풍산, xiao, feng, san. Is there anyone who can speak Chinese? No? Okay, I think you learned this famous prescription already, right? I'm not good with this pronunciation, so I will use Korean pronunciation, 소풍산. This is a good prescription for expelling wind. And 황련해독탕, 황리안지해두탕 for heat. It's too easy, right? It's so too simple prescription, but it's very important. And this is indeficiency. As an intensifier to the skin, I use 생혈윤부음, 쉔, 쉐, 룬, in. And blood tonifier, 시우탕, and qi tonifier, 탕리소독음, 조, 리, xiao, du, in. This is for qi deficiency. And both blood and qi tonifier as a tonifier, qi, huan, ta, wu, tang. 십전대부 탕. So it's very simple. You can use it right away. And then, and heat, qi, shi, dao, qi, tang. 시실도 tang. And if you combine these two herbs formula, 황련해독탕 and 사물탕, what do you get? It's an alchemy class. What do you get? One more famous herb for skin, that is wen, cheng, yin, 온청음. So if you combine these two formula, it's 온청음. Of course, it has a function of clear heat and tonifying blood. 온청음. So those are the herbs you can use in your skin clinic. And these two conditions is just opposing each other because it is helping water, aiding water, and this one is clearly draining down the water. So it is an opposite. And it goes this way, from the excessive to deficiency. So all the skin disease located somewhere in this continuum. Some disease located here, in the middle. Some disease in the middle. Okay? So you need to tell the difference of those problems. And this condition is more like antibiotics. 황련해독탕. Actually, it has an effect of killing bacteria or viruses. And this side, with indeficiency and clearing heat, especially the blood, it's more like a steroid. So most of my patients need a steroid. They apply steroid. I do not say just stop it. I just encourage them use it proper way. For those conditions, you may need herbs in this continuum. Most of the case. And this side. So what do you think, Dr. Wang? Skin problems. Skin problems. If you go to the doctor with skin problems, you get one of these three: antibiotics or steroid and antihistamine. Yeah, there is a lot of itches, and you think Xiaofengsan, it is used for those allergy reactions. So if we just understand this framework, it is very simple. I like that. So, and this is acute, also hives and redness, and this side is chronic, itching, pigmentations, and scar, and immune overreaction, and immune underreaction. So try to put all big picture with this one slide. But there is one little problem. This problem is kind of important because my new doctors, acupuncturists, ask me a lot about this. Cellulitis, 봉화지경, cellulitis, in Korean, 봉화지경. Do you think it is an excessive condition or deficiency condition?
Deficiency.
Deficiency, why? Yeah, because our immune system is lower.
Yeah, I usually see it in old people.
Yes, that's correct. That is what I want to say. You guys are too smart for me. So it was a trick question. Old people get this kind of problems a lot. If you only see the skin, it is an excessive condition. There is a redness, swelling, fever. But patient himself or herself are very weak. So it is contradictory. Skin problem and patient state are many times, very often, contradictory. What will you do with this? Will you use 황년해독탕, 황린지혜두탕 for this? Or will you use 십전대보탕 or CEU탕? It is not that easy. So this is the one little problem with seeing skin patient. Always you should think with these two aspects. First, vital chi and defensive chi and evil chi. Sometimes evil chi is excessive. Many cases, vital chi is deficient. So this is quadrant. This is the evil chi side axis. When is axis, patient can be deficient. Sometimes you should use way of reducing sedating. Sometimes you should use reinforce. Even if the patient is very weak, the cellulitis is really acute and really flared up. In a short term, maybe 1 or 2 days, you can use sedating fire herbal formula. And sometimes the excessive condition of evil chi is not that severe. You may have to use reinforce to help them outgrow their condition by themselves. In many cases, you use both of them, combined herbal formula. So actually in clinic, this side of formula is used most often compared to CEU탕 or 황린해독탕, 황년해독탕, 황린지혜두탕. Those are the herbs with a very specific characteristic, but there will be more chance of using this side of herbs in your actual clinic. So I'm more focusing on the practical part in this lecture. So the excessive condition, hive also redness can happen with this weak vital chi. And you should be wise and very smart with differentiating the pattern. You need to decide which herbs I should use based on conditions. And that is something I will discuss today here. So in this case, this is the example. So you use 온천원 when 칭인 because there is a symptom of excessive on the skin, but the patient has a deficiency condition. So this is a combination with CEU and 황리안 CEU. So this kind of herbs are most commonly used herb in skin conditions. So it's been 1 hour already. Let's take a break, 5 minutes. 5 minutes break. Okay, let's talk about actual herbal formula you can use in the clinic. So I will explain this formula. Maybe you guys are already familiar with. So these are the famous decoctions. I will approach in a little bit different way. So I think it will help you understand this formula correctly. So this is 속탕산, and it is located. It's only wind. So it is focused on wind. And 동의보감, this is a Korean classic. I think everybody know about 동의보감, right? Do you? Don't?
No.
About 황쥐의 내징.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It hurts. It is a very famous Korean classic in Korean traditional medicine. So let's see. It says about 속풍산, it treats dizziness, nearby, point is here, paralyzed skin. The paralyzed skin, they translate it in a very strange way, but it means just tingling or just feeling of the not that itch, but something like itch. Okay, the weird feelings and itchiness due to wind. You can use this 속풍산. This is from Korean. This is direct translation from KIOM, Korean Institution of Oriental Medicine. And this is the formula. Is it right? This is the formula. These are the formula of 속풍산. This is formula 속풍산 from Bensky. And this is the formula from 동의보감. They are quite different. They are quite different. They are quite different. See? If you define originality with a chronological order, like a patent, 동의보감 has originality, 1597. And this one, 외과정종, Orthodox lineage of external medicine, is 1670. So those are two different prescriptions. This one have more herbs clearing heat. So it is not only focused on wind. But this version of 속풍산 is more focused on the wind. So there are two different formulas. My point is, there is no absolutely right formula or wrong formula. You can only say by the reference. In 1617, in this book, this formula is recorded this way. This is the only truth you can tell. Actually, this 동의보감 처방, 동의보감 prescription formula go back to 1107. This Chinese book has originality of this prescription, 小风散. It is more focused on wind, and this is more focused on heat. But they are sharing one big concept, clearing, dispelling wind. That is common factors, but there is slight difference. And this is another famous formula, which is called Guipitan. You know this, right? Guipitan, but probably you don't know about that. Song Dynasty, 1267, there is no Dangui or Wonji. And Kumon, Jin Yuan Dynasty, 1482, no Dangui, no Wonji. But in the Brihagimun, 1575, there is Dangui and Wonji. So even this famous prescription on the class book says different formula. So if somebody says this is the right formula, you are wrong, he's wrong or she's wrong. So I wanted to tell you about this around the formula. So you need to understand not the fixed form of formula, but essence of the formula. Principle behind the formula, okay? Principle behind the formula. That's what I want to teach today. So, 消风散, 说风散, the major function of 说风散 is inhibiting inflammation, allergy, and oxidation reaction in allergic skin diseases. There's a research, and this is Campo medicine for mild antigen-induced allergic dermatitis. So it is an interesting study, and there are a lot of studies with 소풍산. This is another study with atopic dermatitis, because that one was an experimental study. This one is called clinical study. We all love clinical study, randomized double-blind placebo-controlled trial. And it concluded that, I summarize here. Patients who receive 소풍산 demonstrate significant improvement on their clinical lesion score, erythema score, meaning the redness score, and self-reported sleep, and pruritus, fancy word of itchiness, okay? Itchiness compared with placebo. And the main adverse effect were abdominal pain, that's just discomfort with herbs and dyspepsia. And this is from this article. You can check all the articles in full text with this reference. And this is another article from Korea. It's an experiment study, and they found out that the decreasing effect with significance on vascular permeability responds to intradermal histamine in red. So it means it can work as antihistamine. And concluded to have the increasing effect of immunity and anti-allergy reaction. So there are many good known effects of 소풍산, but everything can converge into one reaction. Just like antihistamine, it works, it reduces, suppress, overreaction of our immune system, especially on skin. So these are the typical presentation of the skin you can consider 소풍산, xiao feng shan. So all these regions are not that red, not that inflamed, but papules and blisters and a lot of itchiness. And tangent hives, you can consider 소풍산 with this kind of skin lesions. And next one is 방팽통셴산, 방풍통선산. Now I'm teaching you most commonly used herbs. Okay, I'm not covering all the herbs, but regarding skin problems, you will be using this a lot. This is the wind expeller. So the condition you should consider 방풍통선산, 방팽통셴산 is located here, hidden wind. This is from 동의보감. Wind heat syndrome. Scabies due to wind. Dandruff in the hair. Tinea vascular skin disease like acne, urticaria, hives in the face, nose, brandy nose. Is there any word like brandy nose? I never heard that. Is it rosacea? I don't know. Yeah, it makes sense, but I don't like the translation here. It treats big and small sores with swelling. So it covers all the problems on the skin with a wind heat. And I think you are already familiar with this formula. And this is the formula from Bansky. Same, luckily this time. And you should understand the principle behind this formula. This herb disperses all the fires in different places, but it is not the point, this is the point. It treats heat, wind, and dryness. So all the heat-related symptoms. Wind has its origin in heat. So heat is the major key in this prescription. And this one, these herbs move heat away to mysterious mansion. This means exterior. So push away the heat outside through the skin. And these herbs purge heat through urine. And these herbs first hit through the feces. And many students do not know Fangfeng Tong Song San has laxatives inside, but it had. And this herb harmonize the blood and moisten dryness. Amazingly, in Fangfeng Tong Song San, there is CEU Tang inside. Has anybody known about this already? And because we do not learn about those things, principles, a lot, so I made a diagram which explains Fangfeng Tong Song San, Fangfeng Tong Song San. So this is the major function, expelling heat. And all the other functions exist to help this formula expel heat. So release exterior to get rid of the heat. And release interior, work as a laxative, to release the heat through the feces, through the sweat, through the feces, through the urine. And also, it has an effect of tonifying in and blood. Not just getting rid of clearing fire, but it aids the water. For what? To expel heat. So all the functions helping to expel heat. This is a very well-made prescription. Actually, 동의보감 says like this. This is from the classic. This prescription is indeed well-made. It's interesting, but very meticulously made prescription. I think it is beautiful. Expelling heat by sweating and defecating and adding waters. This is the meaning of Fangfeng Tong Song San. How was the Fangfeng Tong Song San you took? Was it good? No? No? Never took it? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm confused. And let's compare Fangfeng Tong Song San and Sofeng San. Fangfeng Tong Song San and Xiaofeng San. Xiaofeng San, the Korean version, 동의보감, is more focused on wind. It has 시준지탕, 사군자탕 inside. There are herbs, 감초, 인상, 공명. 3 herbs among 4 사군자탕, 시준지탕. And it has more herbs with the function of modulating qi energy, helping movement of the qi energy. So this herb formula is very light. How light? Feather-like, light, windy-like light, very light formula. On the other hand, Fangfeng Tong Song San has CEU Tang inside, so with waters. So it's more like a waterfall, heavier. So two different nature, opposite nature they have. They have something in common, wind. But also it has a difference. You need to understand difference. By understanding this difference, you will not mistake with differentiating. So when to use Fangfeng Tong Song San and when to use Sofeng San. It's a feather-like. So I told you the white lesions, not that red. That is the sign of wind, and more focused on itching. But this one, Fangfeng Tong Song San, is more focused on inflamed regions, so to speak, like a redness and pus inside. And this is folliculitis, more swelling with the exterior symptoms. Okay? So try to compare all the herbs in detail. That is the very good way of understanding our formula, comparing. And Fangfeng Tong Song San with alopecia. And this is a trailer. And we will talk about alopecia later. And if you see here, hair all fell out, so no hair was left. As heat happened, blood of the root of the hair got steamed and the hair became drier. And Fangfeng Tong Song San 먹더니 it healed in a year. So it is written in the classic 동의보감. Let's discuss about this one later today. And third, most commonly used herb is 황연해불탕, 황리엔지에불탕. So Sofeng San was here. 쇼풍산. And Fangpeng Tongsunsan was here. Oh. And Huangnian Hedutang is here. Solely focused on heat. Only heat. And Dongyebogam says heavy fever. Heavy fever is an important sign. Whatever it is, it should have heat sign. Very clear heat sign. This one is from the anti-wrinkle and whitening effect of fermented extract of Huangnian Heduktan. They use this Huangnian Heduktan for cosmetic purposes. This is the formula. Huangnian, Huanggum, Huangbek, Chijak. This is very simple and straightforward. All different herbs work in different parts of our body. Upper, middle, and lower. And all herbs are focused on clearing heat. And this one is interesting. And this herb, Ji, have a function of lowering, the drain the fire downward. Okay, just drain. It has a direction. The other herb doesn't have a direction. So it works in different parts, but this herb, so this herb is used a lot for alopecia or acne. Any disease in the upper body to drain down the heat. This one is not that used much for the problems in lower body because it drains down. This is the very unique nature of Huangnian Heduktan. And it works like antibiotics, that's what I told you. Huangnian has a lot of researches regarding antibiotic effect. Antibiotic and antiviral herb is widely used for many infectious diseases. This is the article from China. Explore new clinical application of Huangnian, corresponding compound prescription from the traditional use. And next, it has an antibacterial effect with E. coli, Staphylococcus. This is from the article, antimicrobial property of this is Huangnian to traditional Chinese medicine. So you can use Huangnian Heduktan when they have a very clear. Isn't it too hot here?
Warm.
Yeah, 저기 문을 좀 열까요? Would you please open the door there? Everybody looked very hot.
I think we can open a window too.
Yeah, please.
Yesterday was cold.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
because AC. I don't think
Ah.
they are operating AC. Oh, not they. I'm not operating AC. Okay, this is the 온청음 wenqing in. This is the combination of 시우탕 and 황년 해독탕. And you can guess how it will work. You can guess how it will work. 여기 보시면 in Korean 사물탕, 황년 해독탕. 한국 분들이 있다 해서 제가 어젯밤에 한국말 다 넣었어요. Easier to understand. And clear heat with tonifying in. So it located in between heat and in deficiency. Yeah. The 온청음, composed of 사물탕 and 황연해독탕, was mainly used for healing metrorrhagia. So it was used for ladies a lot in Qing dynasty, but nowadays it's mostly used in skin problems because it has a function of aiding blood and also function of subsiding heat. It is from the Korean research paper, Chinese and Japanese article about the 온청음 used for curing atopic dermatitis. So it is a popular herb for atopic dermatitis. Do you remember that most of my prescription is located here, right? So 온청음 is one of those herb formula located here. And next one is most frequently used herb for me. I use this decoction a lot. And this one is 함수와 하지만 처방. That means this is the original herbal formula used in 함수와's clinic. So this is our own business secret. I'm joking, it's published a lot. Okay, this is a modified formula in Hamsua Clinic of Ji, Jiao, Di Huangtang, 서각지황탕. 서각지황탕의 variation이에요, modified version. So it is also located here, between indeficiency and heat. And this is a diagram. So main function of this formula is clearing blood heat and stasis too. If there is a 어혈이 blood stasis, blood stasis, clear blood heat and stasis with these herbs. 생지랑 유샤오야오, 시자오, 생지, 접착, 서각. 서각 대신 우각. We just get rid of this 시자오, but we use 카우종. These herbs are added to the original prescription. This works as a stop bleeding, as the bleeding stopper. So it's a very interesting prescription. It removes the stasis and it also stops bleeding.
That's for the stop bleeding is making itching, or why going to be put in the stop bleeding?
Because that is a good question. Let's see the next slide first. It will answer your question.
Okay, that's the added to the original formula, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If you see here, these are the key points using this formula. Modified 서각지원탕, dark feces, and nose bleeding. Dark feces means bleeding in the gastrointestinal system or blood stasis. Because this is the point. We use this herb to stop the bleeding. That means there is too much dryness inside the nostril. So when the patient have a skin problem and also they have dryness in the nose and bleeding a lot and dark feces, we use this formula. That is the reason this formula has herbs stop bleeding. So in this is a very topical condition I use that 서각지황탕. Skin-wise, regarding skin, redness, severe itching, worsening at night, and pigmentation and leaching. So it has a meaning of the clearing heat and also has a meaning of aiding in to the skin. So all these skin conditions I use this modified 서각지황탕. And point, clearing blood heat and relieve blood stasis. This is the cue. So it is different from 원청어, wenching in. Next one is 생혈윤부음. This 생쉐 literally means generate blood. Generate, make it move blood. And yunbu, runfu is nourish skin. So it is the specifically formulated herb for skin problems. These are the 5 major etiology and it is located here. It is more focused on indeficiency. So I'm going from here to here. Okay? So it is whole continuum. 서각지황탕 and 온천만 되게 close. They are very close. They are very similar prescription. And this one is quite different because it is more focused on aiding in deficiency. And this is the formula. And this is from 동의보감. So this is the classic formula. 과, 로렌, 바루인, 당기, 당구이, and 황치, 황치, and 맹문동, 천문동. So all these herbs, you can see these are for aiding water. So it has a strong function of aiding water, helping in energy and blood. And other herbs for side work, and this is important too. Getting rid of blood stasis too. So it is all more focused on blood, helping blood, and modulating blood. So tonifying in blood in tonifying herbs. So it is a fundamental part of this prescription. Please compare the size of the square. When I put small square, that means this formula has just a little bit of these herbs. Large scale means it has more herbs with these functions. Okay? So you can intuitively understand this prescription formula with this one picture. So reducing heat is not the major part. It can reduce heat by adding water. So it is completely opposed to Fangfeng Tongshengsan. Fangfeng Tongshengsan main function is clearing heat. To clear heat, it has CEU tang inside, add water. But this one, with adding water, just clear heat too. But that is not a main focus. Can you tell the difference? Major function is different. But herbs inside can be very similar. The pattern, this is the typical pattern. Dryness is the key word for this prescription. 생혈윤부, dryness on the skin and whole mucus, nostril or lips. You treat dryness on the skin, fingernails, toenails due to dryness syndrome, which was also caused white dandruff, pain, bleeding when scratched. 아주 푸석푸석한 거죠. It's so dry, so if you just scratch and touch, it just fall off like a scale. So dryness syndrome, blood in deficiency, dry, cracked, red tongue, and purple tongue, slightly rapid, deep, and weak first. That means there's an indeficiency, but there's a slight fever. And weak and deep first. You can use or, here's a or, these conditions or these conditions. And regarding skin, dry, white skin, fish-like scales, and itch at night. These are the key symptoms you can consider 생혈윤부. 졸려요?
아니요?
You guys look very tired.
No.
Sure. Okay. So this is the case of atopic dermatitis using those herbs. This is my actual patient. And first, these are the all symptoms of atopic dermatitis. Okay? Erythema, darkening, edema, oozing, crust, all these symptoms. That is the typical process of the atopic dermatitis. It usually starts from papule and go all the way cycle to the finally to the intensification. And it got better and go back to normal state. And when it got worse, it goes all the cycle again. That is a very typical.
Big category is a 9 category, right? For the 9 category로 나눌 수 있는.
Yeah. 근데 this is not much of a category. This is just presentation of all the dermatitis, But sometimes patients have only the papules. Sometimes the patient have only erythema. It depends on the patient, but it can be presented any of this. Sometimes all of this. And next patient I will show you has all the symptoms I showed here. All these 9 symptoms with single patient. He has a discolorization, color change in the abdomen, and whole skin is so dry. And if you see here, excretion and leaching, and this is bleeding and oozing here. And look at her wrist. Here's the leaching. Because of scratch, a little bleeding and oozing. This is the cycle. And this is the end of the. It's getting better, and it will go like this again. It's just ton of an event. She was 17 years old. She was a Hispanic girl. She just came to my clinic by accident with oral advertisement. And she came to my clinic and she started treatment with me. And this is what I commanded her, instructed her, avoid milk, egg, nuts, and pets. I didn't do any test like a mass test or blood test. I just let her avoid this because these are common allergies. And I diagnosed her with blood heat clearing. Blood heat clearing, 서각정당, 시샤오디 광탄. Just we discussed, right? It clears the blood heat. And acupuncture, I strongly urged her to come to me, and it's twice a week. But sometimes she missed, so she came to me twice a week. And these are the points I used for her. LI11, LI4, part 3, CB24, SP10, ST35. These points are good points for the itching, to subside the itchiness. And after the treatment, look how clean she got. And I treated her more than 2 years, every 4 months, and look at her wrist too.
It's like in terms of actual the acronym, the kind of conson is very similar, not different.
Major difference from conson and atopic dermatitis is the part. Conson usually happens with in the area of the outer side, and atopic dermatitis in the inner side. That is the major difference. Her case was the atopic dermatitis, very severe atopic dermatitis. Well, you can use this 서각지왕탕 for conson too. Psoriasis.
Okay.
This is the point of this class. You don't have to be obsessed with differentiation of the disease. Whatever it looks like, what a fancy name they have, just don't care. You don't have to care. Just focus on the differentiating patterns, these 5 patterns. And you can use 셔풍산 or 서각지왕탕 to the psoriasis or atopic dermatitis or even wart. Okay, that is the point of this class.
So
Thank
those,
you.
No, those prescription and treatment could apply for both male and female.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It depends patient pattern, okay? Not the male or female or name of the disease. So let's see. This was the second prescription. And she went to the college after this treatment. So she was very happy. Once she put on makeup, nobody can tell she had that kind of severe atopic dermatitis. So in tonifier, 생열윤부, I changed the herb to treat the fundamental cause of the problem. At first, it was so flared up, so I need to extinguish some of the heat. But now, I'm more focusing on treating indeficiency. So this was my plan, herbal decoction every 4 months. And she followed this regimen very well, so I treated her about 2 years. And acupuncture when symptoms worsen. So I told her she doesn't have to come every week, but when the symptom flares up, like a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, to get acupuncture to subside the symptoms. And these are the point, and this point is also used based on symptoms. This point is a good point for subsiding the blood stasis, to regulate the blood stasis. This plus means enhancing, and this minus means sedating. So these are the points I used. So let me review the whole thing again before I cover this other herbs. Let's review here one more time. So 소풍산, wind, heat, between wind and heat, there's 2 herbs, formula, 방풍탕상산 and 청상방풍탕. Did I cover this 청상방풍탕? No. Just do not naturally. Okay, I just covered this one, and I will cover this one later. acne and 황전해독탕, 서각지왕탕, 운청음, 생열윤부. I covered this much. And I think you can cover most of the patients with these herbs, because this is what I do. Now, compared to this side, I use this way more, like more than 70%. Because when the patient have only these symptoms, they do not come to me. Because just temporary or transient hives, they do not come to me. When they have a just recurrent and chronic problem, they come to me. So usually they have associated with these deficiency conditions. I think it will be the same with you too. Just this is a review over immune overreacting and immune underreacting. And this is the herb here, stagnation. this is something very important because these days many children and many adults have problem with this stagnation. It clears the heat inside the gastrointestinal system because we eat too much calories and too much spicy foods, and they work as a heat generator inside of the intestine. And this is another modified prescription from my clinic, so it is different from the original 지시도체탕. So this one is this side, and this is diagram. You can intuitively understand this prescription. If you see here, 산샤, 신셴슈, 후아푸, 빈랑, 산사신고 후박빌랑. You can see what kind of nature it has. It has the helping digestion. And also it has a 지시대왕, 승기탕. So it's a laxative. And it is very little bit of very small square of reducing heat. So it's more focused on reducing the stagnation. And as a result, it can subside the heat on the skin. So this is the key point. Dark physis was the key point for the 서각지방탕. The key point of this prescription is tenosmus. Do you know this word tenosmus? Everybody knows this. I was the only one I didn't know the meaning of this. Anyway, this is the very important key symptom. In Korean, we say 이급부종. It's not clear. Even if you just flush the toilet right away, you just go back to there again. Even if there's no constipation, you can consider this prescription when the patient has 이급부종. 저는 이 처음에 굉장히 많이 써요. I use this also a lot for children because the children these days they're obsessed with the ice cream and the cookies. They all have a heat inside. So I try to subside them. This is a good prescription. Usually the thick yellow and white coating. White coating is okay because this prescription is more focused on stagnation, not the heat. So you can use even white coating. And when they have stomach discomfort and foul smell in the mouth. And skin-wise, in regarding skin symptoms, eczema with oozing and redness and swelling. So any dampness sign is on a skin lesion. This is the first formula you can consider. So all different, these 5 or 7 other formula have unique key points. And please understand those points clearly and try to compare each herbs. So I'll review them again, so don't worry. And this is about acupuncture. I have an hour, right?
Until 1 o'clock.
To 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. So I will go without break. I have too many things to say. And this is the acupuncture. Acupuncture point. So I will go without break. Please excuse me. I'll go without break. Acupuncture is applied just like herbs, okay, based on immune system. Over reacting immune system and under-reacting immune system. For the overreacting immune system, you use the channels on the yang side. And under-reacting immune system, you use the channel on the inside. Especially long channel, large intestine channel. It is kind of intuitive, isn't it? It makes sense. And the heart channel, because heart makes heat. So if you want to subside heat anywhere, first thing you can use is the point like this to subside the heat. Common pathology of the symptoms, heat and wind. Heat and blood deficiency is the most common pathology. So in this case, we use LI11, large intestine, LU10, lung, when they have a lung heat, and LI4, large intestine, H3, heart. This is a good point for subsiding itchiness and feverish lesion and CB24, GB20 to expel the wind, right? GB20 and SP10, ST34. It can be included here, but it is also used a lot for any kind of itchiness. SP10, ST34. These are the very good point subsiding itchiness. And for the immune underreacting deficiency condition, SP6, liver 3, to remove the stagnation 2, and ST36 and kidney 4 to aid the water. So ST34 can be included here. Okay. And SP10 SP10. You can see just big picture, raw picture with here. These are way more used with the actual patient than this. Like the Hispanic girl, the 17-year-old girl, I rarely use this point. But once the symptom get better, I move my formula of the acupuncture to this side, from here to this side, just like a shifting of herbs. So eventually, you need to take care of kidney, liver, and spleen for the fundamental treatment. At first, you are more focusing on subsiding heat, like a large intestine and lung, heart. But as the symptom get better, you should focus liver, kidney, spleen. That is how immune system works in TCM. Kidney, spleen, and liver. Okay.
I think that is not kidney 4, that's kidney 3.
Oh, 태계가 kidney 3예요?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a very common mistake. Thank you very much, because I'm not familiar with those numbers. Please correct this. Kidney 3, 태계, kidney 3.
The herbal name, last time, 황금 is 황치 and 황리엔 is 황양. So that has to be opposite.
Please say stop. Please say stop. Where? 황연애도 탕해져요?
That
That one.
Yes. 황리엔 is 황양.
Wow, yeah.
That has to be.
This should be switched. I tried to pull all the pinyin and Korean names all together, the Hangmyeong. It was very meticulous work, tedious work for me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go back to the slide again very quickly. So I'm telling you the big pictures, and it is very practical and applicable. So try, if you are the DULA student, find me once you try and give me a feedback, and I can guide you more. So this is the acupuncture. So when they are hit and severe itching, you can use this point. And this one is for expelling wind. Chronic recurrent condition, you better use this point more. And I use this point when I feel I'm stuck. Sometimes it works fine. In both ways, subsiding itching and the relieving general symptoms, relieving other general symptoms. And this is a very good study regarding acupuncture and itching. Acupuncture compared with oral antihistamine, blah, 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 in adults with atopic dermatitis. I have a lot of experience with children patients with atopic dermatitis. Actually, that is very easy because they get better just naturally. Before age 5, 90% of atopic dermatitis children get better on their own. But after puberty, like the lady I treated, it's very hard. So this adult patient is the real problem. Patient and examiner-blinded, so not the analyzer-blinded, randomized, plausible controlled, crossover trial. So yes, please.
Clock isn't right. It's 11:10. Do we have time for the 2 hours? That clock is not correct.
Oh, really?
So
Yeah.
Can we slow that down because it's 11:10? You still
Oh.
So
have
what
an
time
hour.
is it now then?
11.
It's 1 hour.
11.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
okay.
okay.
Thank you, thank you.
How
I'm gonna take a break now.
Yeah, can we take a
Okay, let's just finish this and let's take a break. Wow, wow. that is a blessing. All the that 저기 summertime 그 뭐라 그래?
Daylight saving.
Daylight saving. It makes me confused. Okay, antihistamine. So it works as an antihistamine. Let's see how the result went. They use sterile, this common needles, 0.25 and 4 millimeter, inserted 2 to 3 centimeter. Usually, in Korea, in China, we insert needle kind of deep. Then here, so I was kind of surprised. Well, try to practice putting more strong sensation, getting more sensations. That's what we discussed a lot in that course. LI11, H3, this one, they use this one. And they connected E-stim on LI11 and HD3 here. And with 100 hertz and 0.2 millisecond pulse wide, moderately strong but not painful.
This is for the anti-histamine, right?
Yes. So
That means itching is that
Yes.
means anti-histamine, right?
because at the most bothering symptom with atopic dermatitis is itching. Unfortunately, antihistamine, even antihistamine doesn't work well with atopic dermatitis. With hives, it works better, but atopic dermatitis is so stressful for them.
Mhm.
So, if possible, you should subside that. And this is from the clinical guideline published in Korea. The title is Practice Guideline for Atopic Dermatitis. So this is a very common procedure in Korea to subside symptoms of atopic dermatitis. They recommend to use this point. So pretty similar to what we discussed already. And they recommend use of auricular acupuncture at this point. At this point. So very similar to previous recommendation. And, oh, I'm sorry. This is the point on a year. This is the point on a year. But I use this point quite often when I feel I'm stuck, but it doesn't work really well. Maybe just 1 or 2 out of 10 says it helped.
This one?
Yeah, that ear acupuncture. So I use, when I feel I'm stuck and I need some alternative, I use the ear acupuncture, but I'm telling you that it is not that great with efficacy. So you need to get many options to subside the symptoms. Sometimes A works, sometimes C works, and you need to try many different regimen based on patient condition. So 1 or 2 says it helps, and they ask me to do the ear acupuncture again and again. So I tell them when the itching is severe, just press more. Not just leaving it there doesn't work. When the symptom flares up, give us stimulation. And many atopic dermatitis patients have a problem in the ears, around the ears. In those cases, this is hard to apply to them. So I went back to the slide. Please write down, take a picture.
I already did.
Okay.
Thank you.
So for me, I put more weight on herbs than acupuncture with atopic dermatitis treatment. And this is acupuncture and urticaria. So these are the most commonly used point for urticaria. ST36, LI4, LI11. So all same. So you can see the big picture of this phobia. Subsiding the lung heat and large intestine heat, because they are connected together. And this point, to relieve the stagnation, this point, helping the blood and in energy. 그렇죠? 그리고 여기 ST6, same. Those are the point for the deficiency conditions. When their symptom goes chronic. And GD14 for expelling wind. This is from the article used in case studies. Analysis of Korean herbal medicine used in case of urticaria. And this is another study clinical research on effective acupuncture for urticaria. So they use this point, and not the different. And you can combine, you can prevent, and you can make your own formula based on patient symptoms, and that is not wrong. And this is one more caution I want to give you with the local point. When they have a severe oozing, I usually do not apply acupuncture on that spot. Lichenification, you can apply acupuncture, but if there's an excretion or oozing, avoid direct acupuncture because there can be a second infection. And also, if you start atopic treatment of atopic dermatitis, many cases it worsens at the first 1 or 2 weeks. So if you put the needling on a direct lesion, it can be a problem with your patient, with the compliance-wise. So please consider this possibility. But I usually tell my patient, if you experience that kind of worsening at the first time, you will get better fast. Actually, that's my belief based on my experience.
Any the symptoms, pain symptoms is
Yeah.
usually worse, you're gonna be getting better
Yeah, but
faster.
this is what I always tell my patient at first sight. Not after that happen, if you say that, it is meaningless. You should tell them beforehand.
Yeah.
Those symptoms, the worsening symptoms should be subsided in 1 or 2 days. If it lasts about a week, that's wrong. So I tell them it will go away in less than a couple of days. Then it will get healed faster. And use lateral and contralateral point for oozing and the bleeding place.
Do you insert needles on oozing patient?
No, I do not recommend that.
You don't recommend that?
Yeah.
But for burning?
Leeching.
Burning?
Yeah, burning, you can use that. Yeah, that is a good modality of acupuncture treatment for burning scar and burning injury. If you really try to use the acupuncture and oozing or bleeding space, you should really find a needle and many needles. So put it with numbers, not the stimulation intensity. But even with considering those facts, I do not recommend direct needling for the atopic dermatitis because atopic dermatitis is a long distance race.
Yeah.
You cannot just get rid of this just in a month or 2. So you need to go slowly without making any risk. But burn injury, yeah, that's a good insight. I use acupuncture for burn injury too. In summary, let's take a 5 minutes break after this. Dermatitis can be presented in hundreds of different patterns. Papule, oozing, scale, blister, pus, etc. And papule, apapule or oozing can be a sign of many different diseases. Contact dermatitis, atopic dermatitis, infections, even insect bites. So it is kind of not impractical differentiating all the diseases with your bare eyes. And don't be afraid. You can treat and help the patient without differentiating all the Western name of the disease. And based on these 5 common etiology, wind, heat, blood, and Qi deficiency and stagnation, and patient's immune state, if it is overreacting, underreacting, properly choose one of the most commonly used herbal formula for skin disorders, which we discussed now. Okay, this is a summary, and you can apply. And if you give me a feedback, I can help you with more progress. So this is the next chapter. It will take about an hour. Let's go back here in 5 minutes. Okay.